Hello everyone, it's Felicity here, and the deck I ordered online has arrived. I'm going to do a review on it. The deck is Romantic Tarot by Scarabeo. Just by looking at the box, this image, it reminds me of a movie Gone with the Wind, because red always kisses scarlet like this, and it's a classic pose in that movie. And this is the back of the box, and it's like Scarlet wearing a cupcake dress, running around. And probably by looking at the box, you think that, oh, this is just like a European version of Gone with the Wind, right? No, this is a complete different story. Don't be fooled by the box. And this is really balanced, practical, realistic deck. And if I need to choose a planet to represent this deck, I have to choose Saturn. Saturn is what? Saturn deals with the reality of life. It shows you the positive side and the less pleasant side of life. And it's here to teach you something. And this deck is here to teach us some values that should be passed down from the last generation to this generation. And so with the Wands energy, we find ourselves in Paris, and we witness some courtship between couples, including a gay couple, and also we see the competitions between suitors, and we also witness a wedding that is depicted in the Four of Wands, and at last we have a peeping into a bedroom, and it can be seen in the Ace of Wands. So after the honeymoon, and we goes into a more practical side of life, because we need to support our family, right? And so we find ourselves in room following the suit of Pentacles. And so in this suit we see artists, musicians and magicians, or peasants trying to make a living, trying to support the family by working hard. And in the Ace of Pentacles we learn love conquers all. Maybe we work so hard, and the driving force behind that is love. We know that for love we can do anything. We can do anything to support our family. It is love that supports us in order to survive in this world, in order to fight hard to succeed in our career. And so sometimes we may encounter some unpleasant feelings, or maybe have some stressful feelings from our work. And so this leads us to Venus, a playground for us. That is the suit of chalices. So in this suit, the suit of chalice, we wear the mask, and then we attend the balls, and we have the good time talking to people, talking to strangers, sharing our feelings, sharing our unhappiness from the work. And so by talking to strangers, having a good time in the ball, we actually get rid of the stressful feeling. And so, and also behind the mask, anything is possible. You can be anyone you want behind the mask. There's a narrowing of the gap between the classes in the suit of chalices. And so it slowly leads us to the suit of swords. And this happens in Vienna. In Vienna we witness the tragic things and unpleasant things, the heartbroken news in the royal family, in the high society. And so maybe life is fair after all. Saturn is talking to us that, okay, even though you were born in some high society, doesn't mean that you can run away from the hardship of life. Doesn't mean that life is easier for you. No, Satan said no. You still have to face some hardship, some obstacles that you need to overcome in life. Okay, so now let's take a look at all the cards and see how deep this deck is, okay? So here are some of the cards to illustrate my point, and I'm showing you here the cards from the suit of wands, and it's the background is Paris. On the left hand side you can see the competition between suitors, and 3 young gentlemen are trying to court the lady. And on the right hand side is the 6 of wands, and so the lady is dating, is on an outing with a gentleman. And then next, so here is still the suit of wands, and that shows a gay couple, and you know, the one is trying to get the rose, you know, trying to tidy up, to pin a rose onto his lapel, and there's the lady, you know, there's a marble statue behind them, and the gentleman didn't notice her at all, and it's like, oh, I don't care about ladies, and even though it is a half naked lady. And so here we see on the left hand side, we are still in Paris. It is the suit of wands. On the left hand side is the 4 of wands, and we are attending a wedding. And on the right hand side, this card, look, and there's a hinting of the sex act behind, and a walking stick, and there's a lady's garter. It is the completion of the ritual, the completion of the courting ritual, and it happens in the bedroom. And it seems like they are saying that, okay, you can be as conservative as you want in the outside, but inside the bedroom, and it's very natural to have some sex action. And next we find ourselves in Rome, and on the street of Rome, we see that the magicians and artists are trying to make a living to support a family. That's why the suit of pentacles follow the suit of wands, because after the wedding they have to make a living, and love is the fuel that gives them strength to work hard. And here's a couple more that says that they make a living. On the left hand side is a couple. You see the lady is on the back of the gentleman, and it is and he's carrying her across the river, and he's taking care of her financially and physically. And on the right hand side, it is the musician performing on the street to make a living. And here I have to make a point here. On the left hand side is the 2 of Pentacles. On the right hand side it is the major card, the major, and it's the chariot, the major chariot. And so you can compare to the border. The border for all the suit, it's in olive green, and the border on the major is in the mustard yellow golden color. And so here you can see on the left hand side, when this couple was when the couple were young, and the girl was a bit bossy, and she's kind of annoyed by the boy. The boy was just trying to kiss her, and that's all. But the girl was a bit bossy, and she has to be on the driving seat, and this create conflict, because the boy just want to have a good time, to slow down, but the girl just want to move forward. So even the goats that driving the cart echo their action. You see, one goat is looking forward, another is just eating grass. And so as time goes by, this young couple learn, this pair of kids learn. And so the major means what is the balance energy. So the lady learned to relax after working in the field, and she let the gentleman, she let her husband be at the driving seat. And this is the sharing of responsibility in a marriage, and that's why it's successful, because they share the responsibility and they work together. And it's not about trying to fight who can work more than the others, and it's not about trying to prove to men that, okay, women can do anything. Of course you can do anything, men know this, men knows that, women can do anything. But sometimes we just need to let men to help us, ladies. And then the Suit of Pentacles talk about work and hard work, and sometimes we need to rest, right? And so we find ourselves in the narrow streets of Venice. And on the left hand side, you see the encounter of strangers, because we wear a mask and we can talk about anything when we are wearing a mask, right? And the sharing of emotions behind the mask. On the right hand side is the attending of the ball, and when you're wearing a mask, no one knows who you are, and so it narrows the gap between the classes. Whether you are middle class or you are working class, no one knows about that, as long as they don't ask for invitation, right? And so here, this card, the Six of Chalices, illustrate the point that a couple of drinks, and see, the three lady inside the building, actually they are wearing a gown, and it's elegant gown. And the three gentlemen that are standing outside, actually from the dress, from what they are wearing, you know that they are from the working class. They are not in a tuxedo. So they drink, and they say cheers to each other. They say cheers to the lady that are standing inside. So it talks about the narrowing of the gap when you are relaxing in Venus. In Venice. Okay. Next, in the Suit of Swords, we find ourselves in Vienna. On the left hand side, it talks about the high society, and it's a married couple, and the man is trying to please the lady by sending her some gift. But the lady, it seems that you see on the left hand side, she is meeting with her lover, and they have some emotional exchange, and so it caused some heartbreaks and tragedy inside the family. You see here. Here is you see the fighting, and someone get hurt. And so no matter which class you are, you just have to face some issue in life and learn from that. And I really like this ace, the ace of a sword. You can see from the four corner, cherry blossom signifies spring, and sunflower signifies summer, and autumn leaves, and you can find some falling leaves from the trees, and it's winter. And the sword with a little bit of the blood, it means some heartbreak. Some is like blood coming out from the body and from the heart. And the sword points at the spring, and the sword is cutting the rose. You know, the stem just cut, and the stem belongs to this blue rose, right? And it signifies a new cycle of life, the new beginning of life. And why? How can we start a new cycle? Is by cutting ourselves from the past, even though you know, something is very precious, even though, you know, blue rose signify something that is precious, something that is from the royal status and then the high status, blue. We need to cut ourselves away from that, even though it's precious to us, and to start a new beginning. And here, the handle of the sword is like a lion or a snake or a lizard biting its own tail, and it's another symbol of the cycle of life. And I really like it. It's a bit sentimental Ace of Swords. And for the clothing, and they dress in elegant clothing. Lady with big feather hats, and the man usually dress in a three-piece suit with walking stick and also with hat, and they wear wingtip shoes, and this is the dressing style. And I talk one more card. This is the strength card from the deck, and you see the man used all his own strength to pull the marble statue, but it's not working, right? And this card tells us that, okay, strength does not always comes from your physical power. It comes from the brain, your intelligence. If this gentleman learned to use lever, if he learns about the principle of lever, and he doesn't need to use the rope, he just use the long board and maybe with some round ball to make this statue move quickly. So this is that I find interesting. And so that's all for now. Probably later I will do a series to explain all the symbols in this deck, because I find that this deck is very, very useful for beginners. You can try to train your intuition by using the technique of storytelling. And for advanced learner, of course, you can always get some inspirations from this deck to work with. So, thank you for watching, and I will do more reviews later. And thank you very much. See you next time.